Okay, students, now let's again go to the next question, and it's about inverse of functions. So, how are you going to find the inverse of a certain function? Suppose you are given a function f of x is a power of x plus is a power of minus x over 2. Basically, this is called cosine hyperbolic of x. So you are asked to find the inverse of this function. So how can we determine the inverse of this function? As you know, we do have certain steps we need to follow, right? We have to interchange x and y first, and then we need to solve the expression in terms of y is equal to a certain function of x, and then finally, in place of y, we will consider inverse of what? F written in terms of x. Now, let's see how we can do that using this particular example, particular question. So, the solution goes like this. Take f of x is equal to e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x over 2, the question itself. Now we can consider this f of x to be y in order to make our calculation simpler. So let's make this to be y. Y is equal to, look, y is equal to e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x over 2. So now, according to the way we were applying to determine the inverse of the function, we have to interchange x and y, right? We have to interchange x and y. If you assign this to be y, it's gonna be x, okay? Here it rolls. If you assign again these two x, now when you interchange x and y, the two can be y. So e to the power of y plus e to the power of minus y over 2 can come, look. Now, what is our next task? Our next task is to write this in terms of y is equal to a certain function of x. Because it is then after that we can have the inverse, saying f inverse of x. You see, we're putting f inverse of x in place of what? In place of y. Now, how can we obtain, okay, or how can we solve this explicitly? Y written explicitly in terms of x. How can we do that? To do this, what we need to do is like this, okay? Apply crisscross multiplication. So as you are applying crisscross multiplication, look here, x is multiplied with 2, it's going to be 2x. And here we are having 1, so 1 times this is e to the power of y plus e to the power of minus y. So in general, we do have e to the power of y plus e to the power of minus y equals 2x. Now our intention is to have y alone in one side. So to do that, let's simplify. Let's multiply the entire equation by e to the power of y, as I wrote over here. Okay, I'm now multiplying the left expression by e to the power of y, the right expression by e to the power of y2. So as you are doing that, look, e to the power of y times e to the power of y makes e to the power of y squared. And here, e to the power of y plus times e to the power of minus y. What is that? The bases are identical, right? So you will take the base e and add the exponents. Y with minus y makes 0. And e to the power of 0 is 1. Guys, this is 1. And this e to the power of y goes to the right, being 2x e to the power of y. In fact, we will consider, or we will take the right term to the left. Okay? So anyway, this can come. You see, e to the power of y times e to the power of y makes e to the power of y squared, as you see, plus e to the power of y times 2x is 2x e to the power of y, but bring this to the left, minus. It's going to be minus 2x e to the power of y. Then here e to the power of y times e to the power of y, the base the same, e, but the exponents are, you see, sum together and make 0, with the power of 0 is 1, and this will be 0, 2. Now look, this is a quadratic expression of e to the power of y. You see? So we can now apply quadratic formula in order to know what e to the power of y is. So when we apply quadratic formula, this is going to be e to the power of y is equal to, now what is b? Your b is, you see, minus 2x. But in the case of our quadratic formula, we were saying negative b. So negative of negative 2x makes what? Positive 2x. Then plus or minus square root of, it says 4ac. So the coefficient here is 1, right? The coefficient here is 1. And c is again 1 here. So for AC. So for AC, it's going to be 4 times b square, b square times b square minus 4ac. So your b is here minus 2x, as you see. Your b is minus 2x, so when you square this, it will be 4x squared b squared minus 4 times a is 1 and c is 1 minus 4 can come. So negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac is going to be the numerator one, okay? Then over 2a. Your a is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Basically, student, this is obtained simply applying quadratic formula. Now look here, students. Inside this square root, we are having what? 4 written twice. So we can have 4 as a common out. And then what's remaining? Square root of 4 into x squared minus 1 can come. X squared minus 1 can come. So square root of 4 is 2. So we are having 2. You see here again 2 over here and here as a denominator. So these two can cancel these two, and then we can have x plus or minus the square root of x squared minus 1 over 1. Left ones here I rejected using minus 1 because this is always, you see, having a positive output. Since it has always a positive output, we need to use a plus 1 in order to avoid the negative output, okay? So we can use plus expression. So when you simplify this, this is going to be x plus square root of x squared minus 1. Hence, e is a power of y is equal to x plus square root of x squared minus 1 can come. Now look here. Our interest is to have y equals a certain expression of x. But here, y has appeared as exponent. And remember, to bring y, the exponent 1 downward, we need to introduce logarithm both sides. And logarithm of base what, students? What is the base here? E. Logarithm to the base e must be introduced to both sides. As you studied, see before, logarithm to the base e is a natural logarithm, and it is called ln. So we can introduce ln both sides, students. Introducing ln both sides, one can obtain this one. Like ln is here used. Ln e the power of y is equal to ln of this expression, as can be shown. But we knew that this y can come down in front, and but now ln e is 1. Logarithm of e to the base e is 1. So you are having now y. So the one we were looking for comes here. Y is obtained. So y is ln of, you see, x plus the square root of x squared minus 1. So what do you put in place of y? Now f inverse x can be used in place of y. Thus f inverse of x is ln of, you see, x plus square root of x squared minus 1. So one can say that the inverse of this hyperbolic function, cosine hyperbolic function, is ln of x plus square root of x squared minus 1. So what has been taken by f is returned by this inverse function as ln of x plus square root of x squared minus 1. I hope you have understood. Next is, you see, the second one, which actually is f of x is equal to 4 minus 3x over 5x plus 2. So you are asked to now find f inverse of minus 1. So what is f inverse of minus 1? You see? So let's find that. So to find f inverse of minus 1, what we need to do is let's first look for the inverse of this function first, okay? So to do that, you see, we have to apply the procedure. So take this to be y is equal to 4 minus 3x over 5x plus 2, because f of x is conventionally accepted to be y, because f maps x to y. We assume that. So y equals 4 minus 3x over 5x plus 2. Then as we did before, we have to interchange x and y. So whenever we interchange x and y, look, it was this one, okay, the equation was this. Now in place of y, have x, as you see, and in place of x, take y, okay? 4 minus 3y over 5y plus 2. So the next task is to find, to write y in terms of x. So to have y on one side, what you need to do is you need to apply crisscross multiplication. So as you are applying crisscross multiplication, this can come 5xy plus 2x, you see, is equal to 4 minus 3y, because it's understood there is 1 here. Now collect like terms together, those y's together, please. So bring this minus 3y to the left and take 2x to the right. And this turns to be this one. Look, as you are taking this 3y to the left, it's going to be plus 3y. So as you are taking y as a common, 5x follows, then plus 3 can come, and this is going to be equivalent to 4, and take this 2x to the right minus 2x. Now our interest is to have y alone on one side, so to make y free, let's divide the whole by 5x plus 3. So in doing so, one can obtain y equals 4 minus 2x over 5x plus 3. Now the remaining task is to put f inverse of x in y. That's all. So as you are putting f inverse of x in y, we are having this. So the next task is to know what you see is going to happen at minus 1. So substitute minus 1 in place of x. What's going to happen, guys? When you put minus 1 here in place of x, minus 2 times minus 1 is positive 2. Yes? So 4 plus 2 can come, which actually is what? 8. Right? I mean 6. 4 plus 2 can come, which actually is 6. And here when you put minus 1 here, 5 minus 1 plus 3 makes minus 2. And 6 divided by 2 minus 2 makes minus 3. Here it is, you see? So we can have this minus 3 as an output. I hope you have understood very well.